Box office predictions are coming in for the long-term Blue Beetle box office, and my goodness, things are not looking all that great. The article from CBR is talking about it. Blue Beetle box office predictions are shockingly low, and here I am repeating myself. What are those predictions? Well, from Box Office Pro, the upcoming superhero film is tracking to earn between $12 and $17 million domestic box office opening. Oh, that's no good. If the Blue Beetle ends up opening at that range, it will be the worst opening weekend for a DCEU film since Wonder Woman 1984, which started, had an opening weekend box office of 16.7 million, which was jointly released in theaters and on HBO Max. So what's the excuse that this movie's going to have? I have some ideas. Box Office Pro also predicts that Blue Beetle will earn only $55 million domestically during its theatrical run. Oof, that's a bit abysmal. Now, what could possibly be the cause of this? I mean, it can't have anything to do with James Gunn coming out and pretty much canceling everything that's coming out before his DC cinematic universe reset. Couldn't have anything to do with that. Let's see. Official synopsis. Don't care. Warner Brothers considered delaying Blue Beetle. Why? Actor strike currently going on. The cast of Blue Beetle will be unable to promote the upcoming DCEU film, which could be a reason for the film tracking so low. Are you really? Honestly, do movie star interviews on the late night talk shows, is that something that gets you to watch a movie? I mean, it's bad enough we have stars coming out and talking about my diversity, my inclusion, and checkbox. When it comes to Star Wars Acolyte, that's all they want to talk about. Do you want to hear more of that? Like, tell me the truth. Do you genuinely want to hear how Blue Beetle is just going to be this fantastic movie about a Spanish family, a Latino family? Because that's the only thing they're going to want to talk about. They're not going to talk about the character, the story, the actors, or anything, or the setting. They're just going to talk about my diversity, the inclusion, the superficiality of finally being able to see yourself as a superhero on screen, because heaven forbid you could relate to anything else that you see on the screen. Maybe relate to the character's struggles, their family life, their, professional life, their mental stability or lack thereof. But what could possibly be causing these low predictions? I mean, couldn't have anything to do with the first trailer you put out there you call Batman a fascist. My goodness, what on earth? Let's decrease this one so everybody can see the nonsense I'm looking at. Couldn't have anything to do with that. Couldn't possibly have anything to do with, I don't know, when people start criticizing the trailer and calling Batman a fascist, the director responds to all this. You may remember one of these little comments from Geeks and Gamers. They put out a video criticizing, calling Batman a fascist, and people, and George Lopez saying Batman is a fascist has this person riled up. I need more lines like that from the movie if they're freaking out like this. Now, I wouldn't call the response freaking out. Criticizing it, yeah, sure. Responding to it, sure. But what did the director do? Hey, we've talked about it before. My job's done. So, So people celebrating that there's some criticism for that line. You say, my job is done. So riling up the fans, insulting the fans. Your job is done. What else happened here? We go a little further. All the indicated people are the ones who are today angry about the line Batman's a fascist. And of course, the director again responds, my job here is done. My goodness. And of course, apparently he has some opinions on the former president. But I can't imagine that would have anything to do with the piss poor predictions of how Blue Beetle is going to be. Now, I'll be honest with you. This little scene right here, something I've talked about, it kind of got my inner nerd excited. I don't know anything about Blue Beetle. I've had a bunch of people talk about it, tell me about it, and it sounds interesting. The character sounds interesting, especially the Beetle and the character's mind in conflict with each other to the point where the suit almost takes over his mind in the comic book. And after a while, they learn to work together for better or whatever. And that sounds interesting. So I'll be looking forward to see this movie. It's just another situation where maybe the directors and the actors should probably just, I don't know, not insult the fans. That might be a good idea. Don't respond to the criticism without, outside of perhaps watch the movie and judge it on its own merit. The trailer is the trailer. There's a reason behind this comment or that comment. But no, instead, these people come out and say, oh, well, you're just a bigot if you criticize it. You're a racist if you criticize it. It's what we're getting over and over again. And that kind of response gets more and more people to just check out of these movies. Definitely has something to do with James Gunn pretty much canceling all this other stuff. If this movie doesn't break, if this movie, goes such an abysmally low $55 million domestic during its entire theatrical run, I think that's a lowball prediction. This is my personal opinion. They're lowballing it so that if it does come out and make more than that, double that, and especially in the entire theatrical run, they'll be able to celebrate. Like, look, we beat the predictions. We beat the predictions. But what else is at the theater? What is this going to be competing with? I guess that's the big question. Right now, Barbie apparently is kicking ass. We'll see what that one's doing. But what do you think? Are you excited for this movie? I wouldn't say I'm necessarily excited, but I'm going to watch it. Best known starring role. Okay. But who knows? The only thing else coming out is Aquaman 2. We'll see how that does. I can't imagine it'll do any better than Blue Beetle. But are you interested in seeing Blue Beetle? Have you checked out of the DCEU thanks to James Gunn's announcement? Let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, leave a dislike. I appreciate you making it this far. Have a good one.